Today I will be explaining the importance of racism and the emotions of fear. Racism can be a huge thing that happens all across the world, not just in the US. You can either be born into it, it can be your subculture, it can be your stereotypes. It's just however you believe, and if you want to be racist or not racist. It's just how you believe, how the system works. And fear is overpowering, can overpower you and express how you feel towards a certain event, a certain how people act or anything along those lines. For example, in Just Mercy, which is a true story about Walter McMillan, about how he was convicted of killing a white woman, Rhonda Morrison, in 1986 because he was a African American, and everybody thought that African Americans will always kill white people, not the other way around. So a white cop took a statement from Ralph Myers, which Ralph Myers did not see anything and lied about everything, about seeing everything, just to get him convicted. So Walter McMillan, known as Johnny D, was put on the death sentence because of everything that was happening. And the judge was like, he convicted it. However, he didn't, because they didn't have enough evidence. And they got a lawyer, which that lawyer was he didn't know much because he just graduated from Harvard, so he was a new lawyer, and he eventually was like, we all need mercy, which is true, because they didn't do that, because they didn't have enough evidence to convict that he was the murderer of Rhonda Morrison. And another example just happened last year, of George Floyd. A white male was videotaped that a white cop put his knee on an African American and unfortunately killed him. Kill him because he suffocated, and a ton of things happened which shouldn't have happened because of the racism of the world. Racism, it needs to stop or it needs to slow down, but I mean, everybody has their beliefs and how they work everything. It's just how people are. Another example is for fear. Fear is another key factor explained in Just Mercy and in other concepts such as psychology. Fear can overpower the mind, and you can create fear when you are in an event such as the trials of Johnny D. And all of his friends and his family was like, we're scared that he's not going to get out of prison for a murder he didn't commit. And it's just like, and even his son at the trial was like, my father didn't do anything wrong. But all these white people are saying he was the one that killed him. So everybody was in fear that he wasn't going to get out. And many other articles, they explain that fear is an emotion that goes in your brain. It can overpower you. It can mess with your mind and your brain, and it'll create the stigma to produce the fear emotion in your head, which makes just everything bottle up, and everything just makes you you're so scared, and the fear just overpowers, and it's you can be scared, you can be angry, you can be confused all at the same time, or it can be expressed in any way. Fear can be in any direction as you choose it, not choose, but however you express it is the way that fear can be pertained. Overall, racism is a huge thing across the world. fear is a huge factor in your psychological health, everything. If it's a major event, if it's something you did wrong, anything. Overall, we need to try to stop racism, at least contain it, control it, not have it a big part of the whole future, and just everything else. But other than that, Just Mercy explains everything on fear and racism. So hopefully I explained everything good, but overall, racism can be a huge factor.